Hey everybody, Sam Mellinger here with the Kansas City Star. I wore this shirt to tell you that I spent some time this week trying to figure out why the Royals are so good at home and so bad on the road. And for what it's worth, I did this before the Royals won their last two games in St. Louis. But depending on what happens Friday and Saturday, and I guess depending on when you watch this, they are on pace for the biggest split in baseball history since World War II, between the home record and the road record. They are on pace to win more than 50 games at home and lose more than 50 on the road. That has not been done since 2010. One of those teams was the Rockies, who obviously have their own kind of not mess, but their own reasons for being better at home than on the road. I wanted to go through like the things that you keep hearing, it's like sort of Mythbuster style, and I've got my notes here. So anyway, one of them was that the schedule's been harder on the road than at home, and that's just not true. The teams that they played on the road have actually been slightly better the teams they played at home have actually been slightly better than on the road. The other thing is like maybe they just played hot teams, but it's true like maybe the teams are hot after the Royals leave, when they play on the road. But the teams that they've played at home have actually entered those series much hotter than the teams on the road. If you talk about this at all, it comes back to pitching, and Chris Young especially has given up a lot of home runs. But one thing that people I think is easy to miss, I didn't realize this until Chris mentioned it actually, he was better on the road last year than he was at home. So I don't think that all of a sudden he just forgot how to pitch at Kauffman Stadium. And Ian Kennedy also has a really big split, but I went through and all his home runs, he's given up 15 home runs on the road, and all but 5 of those would have been home runs at home. I mean, they're just bad pitches that get hit a long way, and those are going to be home runs no matter where you're playing. And of those 5 that would not have been home runs at Kauffman Stadium, only one provided the difference in the game. So I don't think that that's it either. There's just a lot of weird things going on. They've got their base runners score at a higher rate at home for whatever reason. The just pure luck batting average on balls in play is better at home. For whatever reason, they're striking out and walking, more and walking less on the road. That's got little or nothing to do with the ballpark. There's just a lot of weird things. I mean, the most sensible explanation that I heard was the one about just total coincidence, but they just have played crappy and happen to be on the road, and they've when they play great, they've happened to be at home. And we're basically talking about that West Coast road trip, and then that other the road trip through like Cleveland and Chicago and New York, and that's when they've really been bad. And the guys that I talked to in that clubhouse think that they would have been bad no matter what, and so some of this is a coincidence. I'm sure some of it will normalize a little bit. Last year the Royals were 7 games better at home than on the road, and that seems like a normal split. You should be better at home by a little bit. So we'll see if that normalizes over the last half of the season. But it really has been a bizarre thing, because the Royals are every bit, actually a little bit better at home this year than they were last year when they had the best record in the American League. It's just the road record is really holding them back. So they got 3 in Philly this weekend. We'll see if that, if this trend that they started in St. Louis continues, and see where the rest of the season goes. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for reading. Please continue to read us in the pages of the Kansas City Star, kansascity.com, and the True Blue app. Thank you.